Sprints, the biggest mistake in software development. Let's get into it. Hello, I'm Chris Thanis. I'm a KMP developer. God, waiting for it for a second. Tech Support said they're coming out Tuesday to fix that one up. And we really believe them, right? Okay, today I'm going to be reading this article and responding to it, at least the first part of it, maybe not the second part of it, about sprints, the biggest mistake in software engineering by Bruno Noriller. Now, he's a Brazilian guy. So there's a translation thing going on here, and I think he translated the first part of it pretty well, but the rest of it, the second part, which I'll touch on briefly, looks like it needs a little help. Okay. Yes, let's talk a little about being agile and the Brazilian definition of the current state of agile generated by extreme go horse methodology. That's that thing, that second half, which extreme is it's coming out of favor. That extreme programming stuff came in 1999, but it's really fallen out of use quite a bit. It's down to like 38 and the high of 100 on the scale for the past 15 years or so. Get that out of the way there. Okay, so we'll get into that a little bit. The misconceptions. The first thing is to get the common misconceptions out of the way. Agile is going fast. Well, that is one of the things that everyone I've ever talked to when I first came back to software development after I sold my company, took a few years off and came back to do Android, and they were all talking about this kind of stuff. I'm like, so what is this Agile? Well, it makes you get software faster. It's like, well, that's what all this word choice is very NLP, because that's one of the things I studied when I took my hiatus. Is this neurolinguistic programming? These particular word choices make people think they can go faster, because the biggest problem at the time was these software projects were stuck. They were stuck, or they were moving so slow, and the amount of work that needed to be done was so much that they might as well have been standstill. So this thing was the promise. They're going to make them go faster. It's like they would have been happy if you just made them go. Just make them go faster. Okay. By now we all should know the Agile is not about faster. It's about delivering value sooner in a constant manner and being able to read and change and react and change course earlier. I don't know where this constant manner thing came in. That was the idea of why this Scrum thing got jammed in this Agile, because all I do is all the things. I'm like, Agile's not it's these 4 sentences right here. That's it. There's no. They've been talk about it. They have a book about it, but this is it. Individuals and interactions, processes and tools, working software, comprehensive over the contract negotiation, responding to change, or following a plan. That is, well, there's value on the items on the right, we have the value on the left more. We, who's we? These guys? You? Management? Of all the people I've talked to, I had to tell, they told me about Agile, how great it is. They got the Scrum and everything, and they have everything put up there. There's no waterfall here. We have a Scrum Master. They didn't know anything about this. They never heard of it. They've been through the trainings, been through the certifications. When I brought up, it's like, hey, there's no processes described in the Agile manifesto. Like, oh yeah, there is. We got to do all the things. We have the meetings. We have Scrum poker points. We have Fibonacci sequence. I'm like, no, dude. So the Scrum is a means of restarting play after stoppage that is caused by a minor infringement of the laws. Okay, well, how do we get Scrum into a software development process? It was just like playing sports, bro. Like what? Where does this come from? Okay, it's a root. Okay, so the term Scrum is rooted in the idea of going the distance as a unit. Okay, so how does this fit in? This is just a mismatch of ideas, and this is why there's a lot of confusion about this stuff, because there's so much of this is going on. Okay, we're layering in things that may not need to be there. And in this article, Takuchi and Nonaka, Japanese guys doing production lines in Toyota, I think that's where they came from, compare a new approach to the innovation of rugby, where the entire team works together to pass a ball back and forth. Right. So Japanese are totally about it. On a production line, everybody's tight. They're doing the same thing over and 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 over. There's a problem. They pull out, they do the thing, they break it up, and they do the thing, they put it back together. But this is for a production line that's doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. And you think that they would all optimize this stuff automatically, but this was a revelation to people. This was a big deal at the time. 1986 for the production line Toyota stuff, not for software development, knowledge work. Come on now. In Scrum, a sprint is a short period of time when a team works to complete a set amount of work. Well, with knowledge work, that's why they're like, you have to point it. It's like, we don't know ahead of time, so you're asking people to lie with this time estimate stuff. So we don't know how long it's going to take now on a production line. If we've done this thing, we change out this tool or whatever, we've done this 15 times. Yeah, we might be able to optimize something out of that thing. We might be able to do something better or to change something up and make something. You might be able to do that, but not with knowledge work. We have no idea how long this stuff takes. All it does is make bad feelings. Okay, sprints are a key part of Scrum and Agile methodologies. Are they? Really? Because I am really having a hard time seeing where the Scrum here. But this is what we're dealing with. Everyone's just like, everyone's got cargo cults the hell out of all this stuff. And it gets passed around and thinks like it's the way things are done. Okay, sprints are a key part of Scrum. They help teams break down large ones into smaller pieces, ship high quality. How do you know? Where was this? I mean, even breaking projects down is a little bit of a, really? Can you? I don't know if you can do that, truly. This is waterfall, yo. This is the waterfall stuff. Ship high quality work more frequently. Who says that why does that make a difference? How do you know it's going to be high quality? Just because you do it more frequently. That doesn't make any sense. Okay, adapt to change. This part makes sense. Adapt to change more easily. That part is the thing we're looking for. Because what we found out along the way, I don't know if you've heard, but the hard and expensive part, more than 70% of the cost of the damn thing, isn't writing the software. It's having someone understand it. Come on, onboarding, right? So it's understandable, changeable, so we can change it and extend it. Those things are the freaking issues. Not how long the cadence of the deliveries are and how many points on the ticket. Oh my God. So the term Scrum itself comes from rugby, refers to the formation of players used to restart a play after stoppage. Okay, so this is a production line thing, right? Because you do have to stop the production line. Something screws up, something's going squirrely. Yeah, and if we need to get together to fix that, this is where this thing comes in. Where everybody that's on the machine production line that's involved with this thing, they get involved. So we restart the production line after. That's not what we're doing in software. Software, we're continuously changing the damn thing the whole time forward. We might go backwards if we make a mistake, but we're trying to make something forward. We're not going to redoing the last thing because that's really easy to do in software. We don't really have a production line. The production line is the build script that gives you the executable. You just send off. That's it. There's your production. That part has been solved in software. It's actually perfect in software. So whatever. Now the whole thing is, what are we trying to build? And how do we build it in a way that we don't go crazy and nobody has bad feelings and we can continue on and have good lives that feel productive and not being pit planned to death because you couldn't get your sprint points correct. Or you're sandbagging your points. Like all that crap. It's completely insane. It's just hard to believe people like this. This is normal. We all think, yeah, this is software development. This is how we do it. All right, let me go back here. Okay, so sprint is doing all in the time slot. So you're saying Agile is not about being fast, but it also means having sprints. It might have been an unfortunate term to be used by the developers of Scrum, correct? And they were told, like, hey, don't use this. Where is that thing? Where is it? It's like, yeah, here it is. He says, the term sprint was coined by Jeff Sutherland, this guy. He's like, I'm going to make everybody think we're going to speed it up. Because he's trying to sell this stuff, right? He's trying to sell it. And he's one of the key creators of Scrum, okay? He chose the term to convey the idea of working intensely focused for a period of time, for a short period of time, similar to the sprint, because the assembly line has been stopped. We need to get everybody on board to get the assembly line going. That makes sense. But not for software development. Where the hell did this? How did this guy get this shoehorned in here. This stuff, his ideas. Okay, similar sprint or sorting of it. Okay, well, some people suggested that the term iteration may have been a better choice. Sprint. They gotta go with the sprint, bro. Sports ball, bro. Sprint has become widely accepted in the software development community as a way to describe time box periods of work in Scrum. Why is it time box? Who is that for? How about we just do it until it's done? And when it's done, we'll talk about it and integrate it, whatever, we'll test it, whatever, and then move on to the next, however long that takes. Why was this? We coordinate all the things. Okay, for production line. If you're doing an assembly line or a production line, yes, you better try and coordinate all that stuff. Because, the just-in-time shipping, and you got things that are pipeline, Gantt chart, and things are take longer, should be done earlier. Yes, absolutely, 100%. But not software development. We have no, literally, I know the MBA guys hate this, but we don't know how long this shit's going to take. And for you asking us, you're asking us to lie constantly. And then you beat us up about the thing that you made us lie about when we don't have any idea. Look, here. Look, I just gotta repeat saying this. Agile has always been arcane. Look, it's real obvious. You just have individuals, actions, and processes, tools. It's really easy. Just get your leadership to get on board with all this stuff. Just go ahead and get them. We're doing individual actions. Forget about the process and tools. All they do is processes and tools. These things are all of the guys that are preservers that run these corporations, these businesses. They're all about processes and tools. You're telling them to get rid of it? For what? Oh, they don't say. Just individuals' interactions. How's the manager going to get involved with that? He is Scrum Master and a product owner. That's how you get him involved. Working software companies. Okay, how do we customer collaboration or contract? Oh my God, this is all we do. This is all these guys do is contract negotiation. What else do they have in a production line process? What else do they got except that? Holy crap. And these people are like, yeah, it's fine. And, they just keep going. Oh, that's your problem. Figure it out. These are big things to ask somebody to change. No wonder there's been such a clusterfuck on this crap. Responding to change or following a plan? These guys are all about the planning. What are you talking about? We got 6 months on this thing. And I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to tell us 3 months. I'm going to pad it. But I'm not going to tell you. But we're going to get it under the wire. But I'm going to tell it's all this game shit. That makes sense in a production environment. Yes. Or makes more likely to. But not in knowledge work. It's a way to piss people off and make people sandbag and give their least amount of effort to get the paycheck. Come on. This is totally not adventure driven. So yeah, Scrum is a minor detail at best. How the meetings are set up and all that stuff, it should be done on the fly. Now, this Scrum stuff was made in a day and age when there wasn't that much communication and people thought it was a wonderful idea that we could all get together. It's like, it's all async now. It's all real time, anytime you want, and async. This stuff, it's a side note. Time estimates are fantasies, have always been fantasies, and are pure technical. Now, if you want to know why they're pure technical, I talk about in this video that's linked up to this term what the originator of the term talked about, what he meant by technical debt. It's nothing like people usually think, but I guarantee what he says when technical debt is a time estimate. Time estimates are pure technical debt, because the moment you go try to figure out how long it's going to take to do this thing, it's going to change. It could go from 1 day to 6 months, and like this. Oh, that library I was relying on. Oh yeah, it was just a fake thing. It wasn't actually real. Yeah, or they went from open source to closed source, and the fee's now $100,000, or they're not taking anybody new on because you're not part of their site group. It's like all that stuff. Because we don't know until we know. Now, if in a production line process, that stuff would already be done. That would be handed down by the people who figured out all that junk and went through all that misery and happened to survive long enough to be sold by this preserver, who then takes that on and tries to do some process with it and optimize the shit out of it. It's just how things. It's just, these guys are MBAs, and then they don't teach this knowledge work stuff at the colleges yet. So they're all told everything's a freaking production process. So that's why you can't blame them too hard. So I'll go in on them, but I understand. They don't know, man. And you try and explain it to them. It's like you don't have a suit on, And you're not on the stage at the conference selling a book and a course and an adventure-driven transformation. So that's why this is gonna. I'm uphill. I'm uphill battle on this, guys. Okay, so Sprint is doing it all the time. So you're saying blah, 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 blah. Okay, it might have been an unfortunate term. Yes, it was an unfortunate term, but used by developers. But it certainly doesn't help with all the agile is being fast people like to think. Exactly. Sprints, however, just a time box for a certain amount of work to be done. We don't know how much work it is. We don't know if we're going to be finished or not. We really don't know. Unless I did the exact same thing last week, the last sprint, and it's been a short enough period of time where nothing's really changed much, and I could do it again. Yeah, okay. But if you're asking me to do something new, software is almost all like, why are we making new? Why aren't we doing something new with software? That's our value that we're bringing. So it's just the nature of how it is. But the biggest problem is that making software is not a sprint; it's a marathon. Exactly. This shit takes forever. It's never done. Software projects are never finished; they're just abandoned. People used to say this all the time. And we took it for granted. It was, we throw that away. We're not done. We're done with it. We move on to the next thing, do the version 2, version 3, version 4. We rewrite, throw it away. We used to joke about it all the time because we were working so damn hard on this stuff. And it's like those sand figurines the Buddhists do with their colored sand. It takes a week or 2 or 3 weeks to build up this whole amazing mandala, and then they just blow it away. And that's what we're doing with software. And people are like, no, there's money in that source code. It's like, no. It's almost obsolete the moment you stop typing it. And software developers don't like to hear that. They don't want to hear it. They're like, no, it's precious. No, it's not. It's garbage. It's only precious if we've got someone solving a problem. It's no longer solving a problem or becoming too much of a pain in the ass. Get rid of it. It ain't going to hurt his feelings. I swear to God, it ain't going to hurt his feelings. Everybody hurts your feelings like, oh, I got so much storage, my debugger, and I spent so much time on that code. It's like, it's dark garbage. Just get rid of it. Write it over again. It'll be 10 times better anyway. 10 times faster, easier to understand, debug, scale, etc. Because scaling MVP is dumb. Scaling the prototype is really dumb. Unless you're not human, you know that you can't sprint a marathon. It's a really bad idea. Exactly. Hell, most people can't even sprint a short race. And I'm talking about software, right? Exactly. So the people result is burnout. Exactly. That is exactly the problem with all this sprint, agile, nimble. Like, I'm going to be like a cat. Except it's all waterfall. I can't change anything. I can't ask anybody questions about going through 6 layers of management. How many bosses you got? I got 6 bosses. How many bosses you got? I got 6 bosses. I'm going to go play that clip.
Better looks like a Peter Gibbons. Oh, there you are. Talking about you. You must be Peter Gibbons. Terrific. I'm Bob Slidell. This is my associate, Bob Porter.
Oh, hi, Bob. Bob?
Pretty much go ahead and grab a seat and join
the Bobs
for a minute or two. You see, what we're actually trying to do here is we're trying to get a feel.
They're planning to plan. Oh, my God.
Feel for how people spend their day at work. So, if you would you walk us through a typical day for you?
Yeah.
Great.
Well, I generally come in at least 15 minutes late. I use the side door. That way Lumberg can't see me. And after that, I just sort of space out for about an hour.
Space out?
Yeah. I just stare at my desk. But it looks like I'm working. I do that for probably another hour after lunch, too. I'd say in a given week, I probably only do about 15 minutes of real, actual work.
Right. In these meetings, that's where all of us are doing these damn Scrum crazy ass meetings that we don't need to do more meetings. That's what we're doing. Boom. We're not really paying attention. We already know what we need to do. So we're just kind of dazing off.
Peter, would you be a good sport and indulge us and just tell us a little more?
Oh, yeah. Let me tell you something about TPS reports.
Let me tell you about Jira ticket burn down charts.
The thing is, Bob, it's not that I'm lazy. It's that I just don't care.
Yeah, it burns it out of you.
Don't care?
It's a problem of motivation, all right? Now, if I work my ass off and Initech ships a few extra units, I don't see another dime. So where's the motivation?
And here's something else, Bob. I have 8 different bosses right now.
8 bosses?
Beg your pardon?
8 bosses. 8? 8, Bob. So that means that when I make a mistake, I have 8 different people coming by to tell me about it. That's my only real motivation, is not to be hassled. That and the fear of losing my job. But you know, Bob, that'll only make someone work just hard enough not to get fired.
And that's it right there. That's what I want to say. Just make someone work just enough not to get fired. That's most people in the software business. They're all down here. After you do tutorials like, holy shit, this is fun. Personal projects, it's like, I can make anything happen. Then you do junior, I got a job in the tech industry. And then you see, I'm a big guy now. And then you're in these tunnels of fake agile doom and scrum coached death marches of cargo cults, target pits of seemingly good ideas, lava lakes of direct competition, the lead mines, where's tech solutions looking for a problem, more servers and customers. Dungeon grind at one of these big companies like Initech. Right? That's also very nice to have that job security. Like Google, I wish I got a job to go. Dungeon grind. Jira burn down slog, feature factory, waterfall, big design up front, lots of coordination, proving legacy projects. And then if you're lucky and you're like, oh shit, I'll just do my own agency, you get really good at solving somebody else's problem. The same thing over and over and over and over and over and over again, while happiness is up here. Right? Whereby you have a cave opening where you can see a problem that you can solve with your skill set, or couple people skill sets, you put them together. And then you can take and attack this. This is the customer with all his objections. Like, ching, ching. No, I need to have that feature. No, it's got to go single sign-on. Cybersecurity. You got to serve 500 customers a minute. Ching, ching, ching. But if you meet them, it becomes your little pet. Little pet. Oh, it's my pet. His little pet dies. Just feed him a little bit, pet him, and he gives up the gold. Yeah, then whether that's like money or fame or you had something you've achieved it, right? Like, oh, because you think not always monetary, but oftentimes it is. And then when you do that one, you achieve that one, you go on to the next. If you're lucky, and if you fail, guess what up? If he kicks your ass, you have to go down here to the silver horde again, or back down the lead mine, or dungeon grind burnout chart. You might end up with a tunnel of fake agile doom if you screw up too bad. Let's keep going. What does it say here? Okay. Burnout. Plain and simple. The profession loses a lot of good people because of burnout. Yeah, most developers last 3 or 4 years, and for good reason. This stuff is crazy. Not to be confused with the burn down charts, or also from Scrum. But somehow that doesn't generate any confusion from the same people expecting more and more from developers. Can you shave a couple points off this week? Well, you achieved 17 points last sprint, so that means you can do 17 this week. At this sprint, yeah, right. Okay. At one point, companies had too many developers, many doing basically bloatware features and not generating enough value. Still, management think I'll just add some more developers in there, and they just pump out money, right? That's what they do. Then the mass layoffs came and went, and are still going. No, there's been a series of these. This is nothing new. This is also business cycle, and so much of the business cycle is dependent on these tech companies. And the zero interest rate environment that we had for 15 years, everything was like, oh, pie in the sky forever and ever. It's like that was fake, and that was going to cause this huge wave of inflation. There was a bunch of money basically was given out for free. Now that's coming to bite everybody in the ass. Unless you have assets, then you're doing great. But if you don't have assets, you're going to suffer. At one point, basically, okay, the software result, because people are pressured into going faster and faster on ADHD drugs, quality drops, and yet the quick and dirty becomes the norm. Exactly. So that's why we're having, if you haven't noticed, like some of the software quality is starting to take a nosedive because they were forced to running this cadence that is just not meant for humans. There's no time for testing. There's no time for code quality. Well, code quality comes from not having this silly idea that you have to do a sprint. Why don't we release it when it's done? And if we have a time limit, yeah, we can shave stuff off. But if you try and force it down on top of us, it doesn't make any sense. And yeah, maybe some of these things should just not be done. A clean code, good practices. Well, clean. I need to do a video about clean code. It's just okay. But there's always time and overtime for fixing bugs. Exactly. We never have time to do it right. But we have plenty of time to do it over. That used to be a saying too. That used to be we'd also always remind ourselves, if we're trying to go fast and sloppy, it's like going fast. What is it here? I got a little meme for this. Everybody's trying to go super fast all the time. It's this. You get this situation here. The journey is long and full of terror. You have to move inch forward. Slow is smooth. You take your time and work through this stuff. And then when you get that stuff all working by being careful, then that shit goes fast. This is so we always have time. Don't have time to do it right, but we always have time to do it over. It's like it's such a production line thing. Like if we get it out a little bit sooner, it's like, well, no, you're gonna cause a lot of problems on the other side by slapping together like you have the Winchester House. In Southern California, in San Jose area. It's clusterfuck. Okay, there's no time for testing, no time for no good practices. There's always what's good practices though? I think it's just not trying to be. You're trying to go too fast, and you're trying to get prototypes going, and then trying to scale the prototypes as opposed to doing what we used to. Just throw that fucker away and start over with what you just learned. Don't try and do it all over again. It's gonna go fast. It's gonna go fast. It's not gonna take as much time as before. It's gonna go faster because you learned a bunch of stuff. You learned a bunch of things that you should do differently. Come on, this is how we used to do it, man. Deliver software not fast, but with consistency. What does that even mean? How about when I'm done? How about you're gonna be integrated in this process, and you're gonna be involved in the process and all. This is adventure driven. This is not agile. This is adventure driven. You're gonna be doing the website. You're gonna be Facebook groups. You're gonna be doing a YouTube channel. You're gonna be doing UI UX. You're gonna be calling customer. You're doing sales. You're gonna be integrated. You're doing customer support and sales. The first thing people see in new frames is how fast they can make a to-do app. That's not the reality of most of us. Oh yeah, this is the software development. Look at how fast our framework goes. Like, oh man, lost in the sauce. Go horsing quick and dirty, and make a big bowl of muddy pasta is okay for an MVP. A prototype. So I think this is like his Brazilian thing coming back through again. Like, yes, quick and dirty, whatever you can slap together, prototype, things that don't scale, yes. Just to prove that it's possible to do whatever it is you're doing without fully fleshing it out. Because the thing is, with the prototype, you're supposed to get to know. With MVP as well, you're supposed to trying to get someone to say, this sucks, this is stupid. And you're trying to listen to that along the way. And it's like, you don't want to you want to have our hustler. That's why that customer has to be involved with this. Not just your everyone that's on board with your great crazy startup idea. You have to have customers along the way. The prototype should generate customers somehow. If you're not doing that, you're already off the weeds. Side project throwaway project. They don't have any requirements. You don't have to have any people. Just exploring the technology, how it works, exploring some new library. You don't have to have a customer. But most of the time you were working months on it. Well, not necessarily. How about we build one to learn what it is, throw it away. Build another one, throw it away. About that third one comes up, it's going to be pretty dialed in to what you want. And you're going to be working that long on it anyway. So don't be a throwing stuff away. We're about just making one thing fast and then slowing down each new feature until you jump ship. I don't know, the axioms. So he's got this extreme go horse stuff, which the logo is terrible, guy. I'm sorry, I got to tell you. So as I was writing this post, it came to attention XGH is commonly known as only to Brazilian devs and not enough around the world. So I think he's trying to get at what I'm getting at over here at the adventure driven. But there's something lost in translation, so I'll go through a little bit of it. This is made by who knows when, by who knows who. It's a little outdated in the writing. I'll refactor as needed. No, you didn't. But you'll see it's timeless, okay? See Axiom 14 relevant and what I was saying. Disclaimer, this is basically a not to do list. It's a funny as a meme. Okay, I like to say, but as I like to say, if all you're doing things from memes, that your life is a joke. I don't know, I like memes. My whole document is full of fucking memes. Okay, there's the translations out there, but I translated them here trying to update things to make more sense today. Enjoy, but don't follow it. Little note, people usually just read XGH as go horse. Okay, extreme go horse. This must be a Brazilian phrase. If you had to think it's not XGH, okay, you do with ADD, with adventure-driven development, you do have to have some design about which way. You have to have some clues about which way you're going to go. You got to have some peaks looking around for the opening so you can go attack the dragon. Like, yeah, you kind of have to think a little bit, man. If there are 3 ways of solving a problem, the right, the wrong, and the XGH, which is like the wrong one, but faster. Okay, this stuff is like, okay. The more you XGH do, the more you'll need to do. Okay, you're trying to be clever. It's trying to be poetic here. I don't get it. completely reactive. Errors only exist when they see. This is the kind of stuff like, what are you talking about, man? XJ accepts everything. Solve the problem, compile, commit. That's it. No, I mean with it. Okay, I'll say this one for adventure driven. No, you got to show it to a customer somewhere. If you're trying to build something for them, if you're trying to build something for yourself, who gives a shit, right? But if you're trying to build something for someone else to use, then it really does matter. XJ says no deadline. Deadlines separate client and mere details. No, with ADD, we definitely respect the deadline. We got so much time to do this, and that's it. If you can't do it by then, you're risking the whole thing being canceled for anything in the future, or probably maybe canceled right then, which happens all the time. People just don't want to think about that. It's like, oh my god! It's like, no, you think about it ahead of time. It's like that. What's that moratory? What the hell was that? It's like this stuff. This memento mori art. Yeah. It's remember it's so adventure driven. It's like failure is the thing that we're always working against. I know we have there's a time limit, and that might be it. That's a kind of a reminder. Like, this could be the end of the thing. It's to make you. This is designed to make you remember that you are alive. You have limited time on the planet. You're alive now. So take seriously. It's not going to be. You're not going to live forever. So realize the time's ticking and do something, or not. Just realize time is ticking along, and you have limited time here. Prepare to jump ship and start to sink and blame something of someone else. What? Okay, I don't know about that. Be authentic. No, you should take adventure driven. It's like if you're going to attack this thing, it's going to fight you back, and other members of your team might need to know that which one of these things you're attacking, so you're not going to double up where you don't need to be, or you need to double up. I don't know. Like, this is bad. I don't know where this come from. Be authentic. SJ does not respect standards. Okay, thinking outside the box. Okay, that's fine. There's no refactor, only rework. I don't know what does that mean? It's all work, man. Whatever you want to call this stuff, it's a slog, man. It's like this right here. Programming is a boring, tiresome, frustrating job. Much of programming is repetitive, dreary, and confusing. And it's okay if it's for a worthy task. That's why it's, if we have to go do something ridiculous, it's going to take a while and be annoying to deal with. That's what we do. But if it's worthy, if it gets us along the goal, if we have to string a line across the crevasse and get to the other side, and it's going to be a pain in the neck to get that thing into the side of the mountain. Yeah, well, but we need to get across and have that safety rope. We got to do it. So get to it. Is it anarchic? No, there should be a leader. In ADD, there should be at least one guy that's kind of taking the lead on the thing, taking the point, and like splitting choosing which way to go right now. We could back up and go the other way too, but like, where are we going? Which way now? This we has to have one person be in charge. The anarchic stuff I've not seen work very well. Someone has to take the heat. Someone has to take the blame, and someone has to take the glory as well when they do the right decision, right? Or how they manage that decision process. Always leave yourself promises improvement. What does that even what that means? Okay, I'm not going to continue on here, but I just want to give you some. I'll leave the link to the link of the diddly do, and you can read the rest of them. I can't make heads or tails of it, but that's my opinion about sprints. Don't like them. We have sessions. We can iterations. Iterations is pretty good, but it has to be faster than an iteration. And that's where he cooked in the the managers going in that they're having their development cycle completely stuck. All right, give me a like and subscribe. I'll talk to you soon.